Hello, welcome back, Transformer TCG enthusiast. Pulling out of the vault from the Facebook custom page is Acid Bomb by Spencer B, where it's a black and blue action card that you can do 1 damage to 2 different enemies as long as they're 7 stars or less. Actually, he wrote seven or less stars. Either way is the same for me. But there we go. There's a blast from the past by Spencer. So let's keep going with it, and we're going where kind of been in the O's. I think technically let me lower my voice. I'm sorry. When I get excited or stressed out, sometimes I tend to talk a little loud. My wife will be like, "I'm just right here. Why are you yelling?" I'm not yelling. I don't know if I'm doing it anyway. So we last left around ocean depths. Let's go ahead a bit and go into the S's and look at Surf's Up. Why? Because Surf's Up is an interesting card. Again, it's trait-based, trait adding, not changing. I never change traits, okay? I'm always simply adding traits for the most part. I've got a few cards where I've tried to add factions, maybe a faction changing card, but I try not to play around with factions in that way too often. Because that is pretty specific. You would have to have a pretty kind of mixed sort of team going with, if you're playing only with the 25 star maximum, then, you know, it really may not be warranted, but I still played around with it anyway. So, but Surf's Up, let's look at it real quick. It is an Autobot faction card because it's going to be Autobots are going to get Pierce 1, so you may trying to help yourself, and if they have, your opponent has Autobots, they're going to give them Pierce 1 and the boat trait in bot mode. So each Autobot has Pierce 1 until end of turn. Each Autobot has the boat trait in bot mode. Well, why bot mode? Because I'm going by the image. A lot of what I do, I'm going by the imagery of whatever I've screenshot. This is from the same episode that the Hydro Energon Collector came from, which that is a defensive base card to help get you counters on upgrades. And that's something else I've done here. I've gone back and updated my Marina War upgrades. Remember, 9 in total. There's 3 weapons, 1 armor, 5 utilities, and a secret action. I think that's 9. And with Surf's Up because this is only affecting Autobots. So you can try to have a team of Autobots, and when they are in bot mode, if you can keep Surf's Up on the table, which the best thing to do, you could have at least a minimum of 2, or if you want 3, all 3 in your deck, it's going to require a star to give up for the Space Bridge to have 3 Surf's Up in your deck to help maintain the bot trait in bot mode. Flipping all over my tongue here. So again, Scraplets can't be played by either player since it's a water-based card. Water and Scraplets don't go together. Again, Scraplets is another one of my own cards of my own making that can help take down defense of your enemies, their base defense. If they don't have a base of 3, you can't play them all, but you can still give them a defense of 0, etc., etc. So okay, so this opens up the Marina War, and again, I have not updated these images. I probably never will. And they look like they were drawn by a 12-year-old, if that. And I just drew these in my late 40s 2 years ago. Okay, the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, something like that. The Christmas is coming. Goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man's Autobot anchor. So let's go through these extremely quickly, or as quick as we can, because I got to get back to work. And starting with the Ancient Scraplet Scimitar, you're going to see a lot of these are for boats only. I changed a lot of these to be able to put on boats only. The Surf's Up, giving your Autobots in bot mode the boat trait is going to help go, well, what does this doofus have in his Dropbox collection that I can actually utilize this, because he seems to be favoring boats. We only had ever 3 real characters, and that was like what, Seawatch from the Rescue Patrol, Autobot Nautica, the headmaster, so give her a head. Ching. Sorry, bad innuendo. And then of course the promo, the combiner, Tidal Wave. So anyway, as long as you have Autobots in play and you can keep Surfs Up on the table, you're going to be able to give those characters in bot mode the boat trait to be able to get some of these in play on characters that normally don't have the boat trait. The Ancient Scraplet Scimitar does loosely work like a weapon version of my Scraplet action card. The Defenders add the Defender's base defense to the equipped character's attack total. So if they're attacking a Megatron tank and your character, whoever that is, has the Ancient Scraplet Scimitar, I don't know how it's pronounced, then you're going to be able to get that 3, add that 3 to your total attack. Bada boom. But it can only be the base. If they have like an upgrade also that gives them maybe 4, a bump of 4 base or whatever, or 5 defense, then yeah, you get to add it, but not whatever they flip. That's what I understand. Because originally I thought the base defense or base attack was only on the character card, and I think I'm wrong. I think you actually also have to add whatever. So if they're wearing an emergency barricade, they have a defensive 2 on the character and 3 from that. That's a 5. So boom, that's going to be an attack of 5 off this if that's their base defense. So this is something that's even actually better than Scraplets themselves. Taking their defense and you turning it into attack for the character equipped. Which originally this was 2 blues with one blue with the boat trait, and that's why I put a question mark on here. When I showed this originally on Facebook, people were like, "Why do you have that? I don't know that. That doesn't need it." You got the explanation there. I like it because I like the aesthetic of the question mark in the attack spot. Okay. And it is so instead of 2 blues and a green, it's blue and green, and only blues are going to get the defense. Autobot, we have 2 anchors, and I've renamed these. One was Anchor Autobot, Anchor Nebulan. Now we have Autobot Anchor and Nebulan Anchor. Autobot Anchor is again a utility. It is white and orange. Only Autobots are going to be able to get the double flip. Only boats are going to be able to get the attack on the flip. Put on boats only. It's a utility that gives +1 to attack. Counters on this each add tough 1. I added counters on here because I'm thinking, I was looking at my anchors and I'm like, boy, these are really missing something. So, I didn't do that with the Nebulan Anchor, but the Autobot Anchor here, so you can get counters on it. After the equipped character has defended with a maximum of 4 counters on this, scrap this card. So if you want to keep 2 or 3 counters on it and add tough 2, tough 3 from this utility. So you're going to see a lot of this in these Marina Wars upgrades. A big mix of helping your characters aggressively and defensively. All right. So there's that. But if you get 4 counters on it and you have a tough 4, you're going to have to scrap it after the battle. Cybergun Cult M4, white and blue, only boats on the blue. When you put this on a boat, now anybody can equip the Cybergun Cult M4. Okay, not a bad drawing. I probably need to, I guess I should put some sort of a light background instead of just white paper, because that's what this is. So anybody can wear this, but if you have Surfs Up and it's an Autobot, you can boom do 1 damage to an enemy character. You're like, well, that's no fair. Well, they got a ranged character and put it on an armed hovercraft. They're going to hit all your characters. Hello. While the upgraded character is attacking a plane, helicopter, spaceship, or Titan, it has bold too. So you're going to be able to get attack of 2, bold 2, as long as you're attacking one of those flying traits or a very tall trait like a Titan. Otherwise, you're not going to get the bold. Again, this can go on anybody, but boats are only you put it on a boat traded character, which means they would have to be in alt mode, or you would have to have Surfs Up, the base card, with an Autobot in bot mode, and then yes, you can put this on and get it introduced. They knock out the Surfs Up base card. You still have the Cybergun cult out there until they can actually get it vaporized or whatever and scrapped. Cybertronium Dirt Gun. I really like this. It comes down to being almost like the normal basic blue pip weapon of +2 to attack. But wait, there's more. It's a black pip with the boat traits. Only boats are going to get the Pierce. While this is on a ranged character, it has Pierce 2 for battle. While this is on a mercenary, it has +1 to attack for turn. So the characters that are going to get the most out of this are ranged mercenaries. Which is still makes it kind of a versatile blue pip weapon +2 to attack, but at the same time, even if it's on a ranged mercenary, it's still not quite as strong as a fusion bore, so you're not going to have to scrap it. Okay, so there's that. The isolated danger buoy is the 1 armor put on boats only. Again, this is very versatile. Not only is it very aggressive on the flip with orange black boat for the orange, only boats are going to get the extra attack. It's going to give one of these boat characters, put in Surfs Up as your base card. You might be able to put it on somebody else in bot mode. Tough 1, defense +1. When the equipped character attacks, it has additional Pierce for each white pip the defender flipped for battle. Okay, so even though it says when this equipped character attacks, you're going to be able to add Pierce if your opponent flips any white. Okay, so this is an armor. If you do have something like a fusion bore on them also, it's going to really help add up that Pierce, isn't it? Or even say the Cybertronium Dirt Gun, and you have the isolated danger buoy on a mercenary boat. It's maybe even ranged. I mean, I have all these dual factioned characters like Kill Switch. Oh, he's a Decepticon ranged character. Outer Switch, he's melee. Ha! Maybe I knew what I was doing back then. Snap Switch is Decepticon, and Snap Switch. Snap Switch is going to the only character that's going to really get the full interesting, because he's half Decepticon, half mercenary, and he's a ranged character, and he's a boat, which is interesting considering Surfs Up only works with Autobots. So maybe I do need to bring in another base card of some sort to be able to help out Decepticons and mercenaries. Adding a boat trait in another way, which I have not done, and try to help even the playing field here. So as of right now, only only Snap Switch could get the most out of having the Cybertronium Dirt Gun and the isolated danger buoy on him at the same time. Interesting. Let's keep going. I got to get back to work. Naval Mines works with anybody. Interesting drawing. It's supposed to be mines underwater. White, blue. Only the boats get the blue. Reveal after one of your characters defends against a character in alt mode. So it can be truck, it can be motorcycle, it can be a tank, it can be an airplane. But it's something you are going to have a little bit of setup here to be able to go, okay, I've got naval mines. I need to make sure I'm attacking in alt mode, not bot mode, to be able to get to try to put a risk factor. A lot of my cards, if you haven't already noticed, and that's why I may have turned off a lot of people. One, I don't completely know what I'm doing. Two, a lot of these cards are pretty idiomatic and pretty centralized on how to get them to be the most effective. If Wizards was still making this game and Hasbro was still making this game, a lot of my cards would be more of the filler cards more than anything. If my stuff was really mixed in with everybody else's, you may not be going, ooh, I like this. You may be going, oh, well, let's mix this up. Okay, because people will probably be going after the ARCs cards or ATPs cards. Then I understand the ARC is going to be revamping and doing upgrading to their Wave 1. And Wave 2 is supposed to come out next year, according to Carl and, oh shucks, well, Carl replied first, and that was not me. Somebody asked the question, and I'm glad they did. So we're not alone in there. So everybody's waiting for Arc Wave 2, and they're supposed to be bringing out Power Masters. A lot of people have been checking out my Power Masters, and I appreciate it. Even if they're not great or that functional or that powerful even. I guess I'm biased. I like them. So naval mines, after one of your characters defends against a character in alt mode, when revealed, your opponent scraps 2 cards off the top of their deck. Do 1 damage to the attacker for each upgrade scrapped this way. So they're going to have, when they tap and go into one of your characters in alt mode, and you're going to have to help set that up, then they're going to, before you even flip for battle, after one of your characters defends. Excuse me. After. So this happens after the battle. Then your opponent scraps two cards off the deck. And if they scrap 2 upgrades, 2 damage. That might knock them out if that's all they have. Maybe not. But a nice... let's see what happens. Can we get 2 damage on them or not? Nebula and Anchor. Black and blue, only boats get the blue. You're seeing a lot of boats, a lot of boat traits here on the pip colors, put on boats only. Nebula and Anchor is another utility like the Autobot Anchor was, except the Autobot Anchor utilized counters. This one does not. It can only go on boats. It's both helps you with your defense and defense. Offense and defense, excuse me. So it's both aggressive and defensive. Bold 1, utility, and +1 for defense. And it can help with Pierce blue decks, okay? If you want to go that way, which if you do that with my boats at least, their stats are not that great. You're probably going to want more orange and more bold than black and blue, or your characters may end up turning black and blue. I got to finish this up. Periscope. Okay, we got Periscope, Signal Collector, and Tackle Box will be done. Periscope is white and orange. Boat on the orange. Put it on Decepticon boats only. So right now, Tidal Wave could wear this. Kill Switch could wear this. Lieutenant Shredhead. Oh my gosh, I forgot about him. He's mercenary. He is mercenary. Autobot. And I've got apparently this is the 3rd time I've tried to record this because I've gone a little long each time. Okay, Snap Switch is a Decepticon, Outer Switch is a Decepticon, Kill Switch is a Decepticon, Fog Break is a Decepticon. Okay, and Captain Galleon Prime. Okay, so we have at least a handful of characters here that could utilize, as well as my 3 submarines if I can find them. If you remember, Pressure Hull, Lophius, and I forgot the third one. You remember those guys? And yes, I still have a Lophius character on PSO2 somewhere. Haven't played it in over 2 years. I need the Periscope. Here we go. Put on Decepticon boats only. So that's not many characters in the unofficial game or even the official game. When the equipped character defends, pull up the Periscope, draw 1 for each upgrade on your defender has equipped. And you may plan 1 equal to how many cards you've drawn. So you can use this for just simply draw power on the defensive side, or you can, if you are able to get 3+ upgrades on your Decepticon boat or your Decepticon boat character in whatever mode at that point, because they could be in bot mode. They could be in bot mode defending against this. Defending with this, excuse me. You can draw 3, and then you can plan 3. Okay, ideas. The signal collector I really liked. Again, this was not for boats only. Now it is. Pierce 1, put on boats only. Maybe I do need to swap that. When the equipped character attacks, so your opponent scraps 3 cards off the top of their deck. Each action scrapped this way gives bold 1 to the equipped character. Let me put on here for battle. For battle. Boom. That helps. So great. And I just updated the signal collector. Originally it was not for boats only. I tested this a lot in some mock games over a year ago, and I really liked it. I like its versatility and a lot of risk here. You may only get bold 1 off of this. You may only get bold 2 off of this. It is a utility with very little pierce and nothing else. No attack, no defense help. And it only can go on boats now. Okay? But it's a nice aggressive on the flip too for your boats with orange and black. So there's that as well. I like that. And it is kind of copying an official card that I can't think of right the head. Tackle box. White and orange for the boats. Utility with +1 for defense. Again, you see it's got pierce 1 and defensive 1, so it's going both ways. When you put this on a Decepticon or mercenary, you may play an upgrade on another character. So it's not just boats only. Anybody can wear this. You got a specialist on your team, get a field communicator out there, get some combos going. Could this be a little problematic? Maybe. But for the casual gamer, have fun. Have fun. These cards are not tournament worthy. I think I like them though. Oh golly, I got all these travel buggers all over my socks because I just did that video with the muscadine trellis in the back of my father-in-law's yard. So that's all I was going to go over with, is explaining Surf's Up, how it can help you. And I had to go back and really tweak the text on these upgrades in my Marina War file. So there's that. And you look at one of them, there's only one character that I have created that is both a Decepticon and a ranged and a mercenary that can really get the help of having two of these upgrades on them for some interesting results. That's all I have time for. I got to get back to work. Thanks for watching. Throw Scraplets, as long as you're not playing Surf's Up, at that like button. We'll catch you next time. More content coming. I'm tired. We'll see you next time. And as always, Autobots, flip out and let's roll.